everyone, my name is Stephen Aitchison. I'm the author of Change Your Thoughts and the creator of Alter Your Jacket Life Change Programme. I've got a question for you. Have you ever tried to make a change in your life only for that change to have failed and you've given up on the change you're trying to make? Well, over the last 15 years I've been studying change from a personal perspective, from an objective perspective, studying other human beings and how they interact with the world and how they change. From a business perspective, there's a lot of things we can learn from businesses and how they implement change in the way they go about their businesses as well, and how they actually do that to a big organisation. We can learn a lot as a human being, as a single person from business who have got thousands and thousands of employees. So I've been studying that over the last few years. I've also studied it from an academic perspective as well. I specifically went to university to get my degree in psychology to look at human nature, human behaviour, and how we deal with change and how we actually change as people as well. So I believe I've discovered the change code, and I believe it's a code whereby we can implement any change in our lives, and we have to implement it change by change or step by step, and we can do this in a personal life or business life. So this change code can encompass your personal or business life, as I said. And what I've done over the last few years, I've tweaked this code and I've refined it, and it's finally coming out in the package that you're going to be receiving over the next 4 videos, and it'll be over the next 12 days, and the subsequent package after that. So in this video you're going to learn how I went from staying in a poky little flat in a place called Govan just outside Glasgow, how I had no money, no car, had a job I hated doing, and to top it all off I had to go bankrupt in 1999 because I was playing the stock market, and I say playing, and I really mean playing because I was really gambling at the time. I kept on calling it, and it was an investment that I was doing, but it really wasn't. I was gambling on the stock market. It wasn't even my cash, I was gambling with credit card cash, and I had maxed out all my credit cards. I had about 9 credit cards, and I was up to about, it must have been £30,000–40,000, and I'd started paying these credit cards off because I was doing well in the stock market. By the time 1999 came, the stock market crashed spectacularly, and it was the 1999 technology crash. That was the time everybody was just kind of investing in kind of anything that had a .com at the end of it. There was millions of pounds getting poured into it, so I was putting money into that as well. And I was starting to put more money in. I was getting it from the credit card cash, but I was starting to put more money in. I was up on the stock market for about £40,000. I had an account with a company called TD Waterhouse. I was up about £40,000. Then, I think it was late 1999, the market started to crash big time, and my money kept on going down and down and down. And shares, I couldn't get rid of the shares because I had hundreds of thousands of shares. I couldn't get rid of any of them because nobody was buying shares, everybody was trying to sell the shares. So it wasn't a good time for me at the time. So you're going to learn how I went from all that to today, where I've got a gorgeous wife, 2 fantastic sons, £250,000 house, 2 cars, a job I love doing, which is coaching clients how to better themselves and better their lives as well, which is going to help others, the family surrounds them, and other people round about them as well. I've written 4 books which are selling on Amazon, and I have the biggest personal development blog in the UK at Change Your Thoughts. So what we're going to look at in this video is exactly what is change. Everybody's got their own definition of change, but we're going to give a universal definition of change with respect to this package. Why do people want to change? In this video you'll learn why a lot of people make the change and what motivates them to actually make a change. And why do people find it so difficult to change as well? And you'll know that yourself if you've ever tried to change any aspect of your life, such as changing your diet, making a new exercise routine, even changing a job or changing a house. Quite difficult transition to make in your life. Also look at the benefits of change. And last of all but not least is one of the most important aspects, and that's how do you actually do the change? How do you go about changing an aspect of your life? So after literally speaking to thousands of people over the last few years via the internet, via email, via personal contact through the life coaching and via the website and the blogs that I've done over the years, I'm going to make a few assumptions about you as a person in this particular moment in time. The first assumption I'm going to make is you want to change a particular aspect of your life. Hopefully that's a given, or you wouldn't be looking at this video at all. Second assumption I'm going to make is you find it difficult to change. Third assumption is you've tried lots of other things to help you change. And that could be from a self-help book, going to seminars, going to classes, researching on the internet, watching DVDs and videos, etc. And you've still not been able to quite get the change that you've been looking for. And the last assumption I'm going to make is you are open to new ideas. Now, if you're going to make any kind of change in your life, you've got to be open to new ideas to help you change as well. So that's all the assumptions I'm going to make about you as a person. So now we'll go on to look at what changes. I'm going to give the definition from the Oxford English Dictionary here. So the Oxford English Dictionary explains it as a verb, to make or become different. 2, to exchange for another. 3, to move from one to another. 4, change over, move from one system or situation to another. So that's change as a whole. To change from a personal point of view, or to change some aspect of yourself, I'd like to propose a different definition. If you're looking to change any aspect of your life from a personal point of view, then I would propose a different definition of change to changing from your core self to an idealised version of yourself. And let me explain what I mean by that. I believe everybody's got a core self to them. They've got a core self at home, they've got a core self at work, they've got a core self kind of different places with their friends, etc. Essentially the core self remains the same, although you might get slight variations of it, say from work, from being with the family and from going out with friends, etc. So what I mean by that is you're not the exact same person as you are when you go out with your friends, as you are when you're with your family. You act slightly differently. So there's different rules that you apply when you're with your friends or with your work colleagues or with your family. With your family you mostly feel totally comfortable with your family. You can do lots of different things. You can act stupid, you can say silly things, and you know you're in a safe environment. Or for most of us that feel that way, hopefully that's the way it should feel when you're with your family. With your friends, you're not as in a safe environment, so you're slightly guarded. You don't act exactly the same way as you do with your family. Conversely, you wouldn't act the same way with your friends as you do with your family, and vice versa. So some of the things you say to your friends, you wouldn't say to your family. So it kind of works both ways, but your core self essentially